Speaker, let me first apologize to you for my inability to be here earlier when you sat in a chair. Some other engagement delayed me from my office to the chamber. I thank you for indulging me. Speaker, colleagues in leadership, dear colleagues, this chamber has echoed with many closing. But today, as we've gathered, I know that we do not gather merely to conclude a meeting or session, but on our part as minority, we are closing to confront the truth. In our view, our country is in danger. Our democracy is under attack from within. Our young people are dying in preventable tragedies. Their futures are being destroyed in failing schools. Millions of them have no work and no hope. Our laws are being twisted. Our institutions are being weakened. Our voice is being ignored. To stay quiet now would be a betrayal of the people we serve. It will be a betrayal of Ghana. So today, we, the minority, take a stand. We draw a line. We choose to speak again and again. History has a way of testing nations. It tests them not in moments of triumph, but in moments of temptation. It tests them not when the path is clear, but when a fog is thick. And it judges them not by their words, but by their choices. Ghana stands at such a crossroad today. Our people are tired of watching their constitution treated as a suggestion, tired of seeing a human life reduced to numbers in press conference, tired of a parliament that sometimes forgets it speaks for the people, not for the executive. From this side of the aisle, we say enough is enough. Mr. Speaker, before I speak of policies and politics, let me speak of people, real people, young people, Ghanaians who will never come home. Last month, 6 young men and women, 6 women, woke up early to be part of the many who were going to participate in the recruitment exercise at Al-Waq Stadium. They went with dreams of serving in Ghana's armed forces. They went with hope in their hearts. By the end of that day, they lost their lives. A recruitment exercise, something that should have been a routine, became a death trap. Thousands surged through gates. The crash was inevitable. The tragedy was preventable. Mr. Speaker, I have seen the faces of these 6 young people. I've read their names. I think of their mothers who prepared breakfast that morning, not knowing it would be the last meal they would ever cook for their children. I think of their fathers who waved goodbye and expected them home by evening. What did those families get? A board of inquiry, statement of regrets, promises to investigate. But what they did not get was their children back. And still, not a single official has been held accountable. Not one person has resigned. Not one career has ended because 6 young Ghanaians died needlessly on their watch. Mr. Speaker, earlier this year, 8 more Ghanaians boarded a military helicopter. They were on national assignment, serving their country. The helicopter crashed in Obuasi. All 8 died, including top ministers of state. The investigation ruled it as an accident. Questions remain unanswered. Again, no accountability. Again, families left to grief while officials move on. And Mr. Speaker, from the death of the young, let me turn to the destruction of their dreams. We in the minority, when our party was in office, handed over an education system that was in the best shape it had ever been, although it was not perfect. WASSCE results were improving year after year. Our free SHS policy by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo had opened doors for millions. Our investment in infrastructure, teacher training, and curriculum reforms were bearing fruits. We were building a future, but what has happened in less than a year? The 2025 WASSCE results tell a story that should shame every one of us in this chamber, especially those of our friends in government. 220,000 candidates failed core mathematics. Let that number sink in. More than half of all students who sat for the exam. The worst performance in 7 years. F9 rates have exploded. Pass rates have collapsed. The failure rate has quadrupled compared to last year. Mr. Speaker, these are not just numbers on spreadsheets. These are children who studied late into the night. These are parents who sacrificed to pay for extra classes. These are teachers who did their best with fewer resources and less support. These are 220,000 doors slammed shut, universities deferred, career paths blocked, future dimmed. The so-called apostles of reset promised transformation. What they have delivered is devastation. We left them an education system that was rising. They have driven it into the ground. When our children fail, Ghana fails. When we destroy the ladder that lifts the next generation, we destroy the nation's tomorrow. This government promised a 24-hour economy, 1 job, 3 shifts. Where is it? That promise has been a massive failure, a disappointment, a slap in the face of the youth. Mr. Speaker, Ghana cannot afford to keep its youth idle. The saying is old but true. The devil finds work for idle hands. Is it any wonder that youth-related violent crimes are increasingly in the press? Is it any wonder that in some communities, young people are abandoning classrooms to chase illegal mining? Is it any wonder that betting shops are now filled with adult youth gambling away their future? When 1.3 million young people have nothing to do, when youth unemployment reaches 32.5%, when graduates cannot find work and school leavers see no future, that is a national security threat. Mr. Speaker, a political party does not exist merely to win power and reward its big men with ministerial posts. A party does not exist to enrich cronies and appoint party loyalists to comfortable positions. A party exists to govern, and the test of governing is not how many jobs you create for your friends. It is how many jobs you create for the people. The real measure of a government's thinking capacity is whether it can roll out policies that unleash the energies of the youth, policies that turn frustration into productivity, policies that give hope instead of despair. This government has failed that test. It has presided over collapsed education. It has watched youth unemployment soar. It has offered no credible plans for job creation. It has expanded budgetary allocation to the presidency for payment of salaries, while the real sectors of the economy get paltry amounts. This government must wake up. It must understand that its first duty is not to its party apparatus. Its first duty is to the young people of this country. And if it cannot create jobs, if it cannot offer hope, if it cannot give our youth a future, then the question that begs for an answer is, why did it seek the mandate of the good people of Ghana with lofty promises? Mr. Speaker, let me now turn to the attacks on our democracy itself. Manipulation of parliamentary representation. We have seen clear manipulation of parliamentary representation through our courts. And I dare say, on behalf of the minority, that democracy rests on one sacred principle. The people choose their representatives, not judges. No bureaucrats, not political schemers working in the shadows. Yet we have watched a calculated assault on parliamentary representation unfold before our eyes. In Pandai, a single High Court judge sought to annul an election and order a rerun. This House rushed to declare the seat vacant. We urged restraint. We pleaded for patience. We asked that a higher court be heard. We were ignored. It took the Supreme Court on December 16, 2025 to remind this nation that constitutional questions are not administrative footnotes. The court ordered the Electoral Commission to halt all preparations, not because the law was unclear, but because the haste was dangerous. In Suhum, another attempt was stopped by the High Court before it could succeed. But across this country, similar schemes are being hatched, and we, the minority, are aware. Let the record show this minority will fight to protect every mandate the people give our colleagues. We have seen this playbook in other democracies, where courtrooms become backdoors for reshaping parliament. We will not let that happen here. The Constitution demands respect for the people's will, not convenience, not shortcuts, not political games dressed in legal language. And Mr. Speaker, lurking behind these attacks on representation is something even darker. Whispers, quiet conversations, plans being drawn in certain circles for a third-term presidential term. Some speak of creative constitutional interpretation. Others hint at amendments. All of them have forgotten one simple truth. Sovereignty belongs to the people, not those who sit in power. And let us be clear as the midday sun. Such schemes will not pass, not on this minority's watch, not while Ghanaians are awake and vigilant. We, the minority, will use every tool the Constitution gives us.
My Constitution.
Debates,
my Constitution.
motions,
give me the right.
Court actions, public mobilization, to stop any attempt to extend this government mandate beyond what the law permits. Mr. Speaker, we remain deeply troubled by the repeated introduction of government business under certificate of urgency without prior notification, adequate consultation, and sufficient time for proper scrutiny. While the Constitution permits emergency procedures under specific circumstances, such provisions are intended to be exceptional. We have witnessed instances where bills of significant national interest were laid before the House under certificate of urgency, with little opportunity for members to peruse their implications, consult relevant stakeholders, or subject them to rigorous debate. This approach undermines the very essence of legislation. A recent example is the lithium agreement, which had to be withdrawn. The minority sounded alarm, but it was ignored. Eventually, when civil society echoed our views on this House floor, government took a U-turn and came to eat a humble pie, leading to the withdrawal of the bill. We the minority consider this as a major policy failure, because the agreement had gone to cabinet had approved, and they brought it here. And when we raised the issue, government officials insisted that it was a right agreement. We hereby re-echo our position earlier this week that the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, Honorable Ama Kofi Boa, must resign over this unfortunate situation. Mr. Speaker, this government has also tried to destroy the very institutions meant to hold it accountable. When the office of the special prosecutor began investigating people close to the ruling party, what did we see? we saw a private membered bill showing its head under the majority leader and the majority chief whip. What they sought to do was to abolish that office. This move came as a shock to all who genuinely care about accountability. It's particularly jarring because it directly contradicted the president's own stated support for the OSP when he said, quote, a vital cog in the fight against corruption, unquote. The minority caucus, immediately upon learning of this bill, publicly condemned the attempt to dismantle the OSP. We found it unacceptable that while the president was praising the special prosecutor, his leaders in parliament were moving to scrap that very office. Thanks to the public outcry, the president intervened and the bill was withdrawn at his instance. However, the damage was already done. This episode dealt a blow to the credibility of government anti-corruption posture. Beyond the OSP incident, the anti-corruption effort so far appears one-sided. We observe that when this government took office, all party members who were facing prosecution were released, were freed through nolle prosequa. We observe that the vast majority of corruption investigations that have been launched have targeted officials of previous administration, including members of parliament on the minority caucus. Mr. Speaker, it is sad to say that anytime the state agencies hear former appointees who are members of this side speak on national issues, they invite them with threats, and this is unacceptable. The attempt is to cow them not to speak. We ask, why this bad faith investigation? Is it to shut us, to silence us? And when they hear any appointee who is a member of parliament on the minority side speak, the next thing is threats. Mr. Speaker, sometimes in this very chamber, there are open threats and name calling. This must stop. Mr. Speaker, beyond the OSP, the anti-corruption effort so far appears one-sided, as I've said, and we have seen it in action. The minority has no objection whatsoever to any wrongdoing being investigated. Our position is that the fight against corruption must be genuine and non-partisan. It must not be used to blackmail us. Merely serving your nation in that capacity as a government appointee should not mean that if you are in opposition today, you must not speak. Mr. Speaker, democracy relies heavily on respect for the rule of law. State institutions must act impartially and protect the rights of all citizens. During this session, the minority has become concerned about signs of political intimidation and weakened due process. Action by some state agencies suggests targeting opposition figures, which threatens democratic stability. Our Bono regional chairman, Abronye, was targeted. And we know that our Ashanti regional chairman, Chairman Wuntumi, is undergoing what we call malicious prosecution. We have also seen instances where the right to bail and fair treatment have been ignored. Some opposition figures have been held in custody, contrary to Article 14 of the Constitution. This trend is troubling. We want to encourage IYOCO to undertake its work with professionalism. The way they are using bail to intimidate, to frustrate, and to deny some known MPP officials of their rights is most unfair. This must stop. The law must protect every citizen equally, and any departure from these safeguards creates serious risk for our democracy. Mr. Speaker, when a government first response to investigation is to take up the investigator, democracy is in danger.
What does it? And the casa want to me was Sika. And your bango. And your gold.
Mr. Speaker, this House This House was rushed into a process to install a new Chief Justice, even as matters touching that very vacancy were still before our court and ECOWAS court. The separation of powers is not a suggestion. It is not an optional. It is the foundation on which our democracy stands. When the political branches behave as though pending court cases are mere formalities to be brushed aside, they shake that foundation. Mr. Speaker, while the government destroys our institutions, it has also crushed ordinary Ghanaians under economic hardship. The cost of living crisis. Mr. Speaker, within a year, we have seen electricity tariffs going up to 27%. Organized labor has signaled that this is unacceptable, and the alarm bells have rung. Families are suffering. Food prices remain high. Transport costs eat into wages. Fuel prices climb while income stands still. Parents struggle to pay fees. Small businesses close their doors. Households cut back on meals. And what does this government do? It indulges in wasteful spending. It launches questionable projects while preaching austerity to everyone else. They are buying a presidential jet, a thing that they themselves criticize. Today, those they have recruited at the presidency has ballooned, and they are spending so much to pay them. Today, they have abandoned agriculture. We have not seen production increase. Today, the private sector is suffering. They took away the policy of 1D1F. No incentive to the private sector. Mr. Speaker, the social contract is breaking when those at the top live in comfort, while at the bottom are told to tighten their belts. At the same time, our mineral wealth is being sold off in shady deals. The lithium agreement, we repeat, is opaque. The terms favor foreign and local investors, while communities get nothing. The details are hidden. The draft mining royalty regulation are being rushed through as subsidiary legislation without transparency, without proper scrutiny, creating loopholes for the well-connected. Mr. Speaker, the Chamber of Mines has sounded an alarm. We urge government to withdraw this regulation and engage in broader stakeholder consultation. Mr. Speaker, our gold, our lithium, our future being redesigned through the back door while Ghanaians are kept in the dark is most unfortunate and unacceptable. Mr. Speaker, let me turn my attention to foreign policy. It is our view that this government has also tarnished Ghana's hard-won reputation on the world stage. Mr. Speaker, Ghana was once a respected voice on the global stage. Nkrumah showed us how. We were principled and strategic. Today, that careful statecraft has been replaced by impulsiveness. There is what we call
traders are suffering, pensioners are suffering.
Hey, are you seriously?
No, my constitution, yes. Give me the right.
Mr. Speaker, today we see what we call a rather reckless situation instead of a steady leadership. Look at the recent clash with the United States. It was over commercial debt. It ended with defiant statement, quote, "We owe you nothing," unquote. That line may have pleased some at home, but it was, in our view, reckless. It turned a complex financial issue into a public fight. That dispute needed quiet, technical talks and not shouting. We saw the same pattern with Israel. There was an unfortunate issue in Israel involving our citizens. Instead of calm fact-finding and private diplomacy, we chose a loud public confrontation. We used a megaphone when we needed a quiet conversation between partners. In both cases, small problems were blown up into political drama. This shows a dangerous shift. Under this government, Foreign policy is now a stage for domestic politics. It is no longer a careful tool to protect Ghana's long-term interests. Let me be clear. We fully support a foreign policy that asserts Ghana's interests, and we fully support a decision to protect our citizens, and we fully support a decision to lawfully protect every Ghanaian everywhere. But what our foreign ministry must remember is that a foreign policy is about interests, power, and values. When cool heads are required, there is no place for buga buga in diplomatic arena. We have lost our measured words and steady nerves. It is time to find them again. This is not smart diplomacy. This government must end this approach. Mr. Speaker, we also see a one-sided house. That line is clear and bright. There will be no third term by any stilt. There will be no quiet destruction of independent institutions. There will be no constitutional violations dressed as legal creativity. We will use every tool the 1992 Constitution gives a vigilant minority. We will debate. We will file motions. We will go to court. We will mobilize public opinion. We will not stand by while this government dismantles what generations built. Mr. Speaker, our people are weary, but they are not defeated. They wait, not from partisan hatred, but from a hunger for competence, for decency, for a government that respects the Constitution and values lives. When change comes, history records two groups of people. One chose silence, one chose convenience, and one looked away. The other stood its ground, defended the Constitution, spoke for the people. We, the mighty minority, are the second group. We are the latter. We stood our grounds, defended this Constitution, and spoke for the people. Mr. Speaker, it is the practice of democracy that strengthens democracy. Democracy does not become strong simply because it exists on paper. It becomes strong because it is exercised properly and consistently. Put simply, writing or amending a constitution does not make a country democratic. Holding elections alone does not make a country democratic. Calling a system democratic does not make it so. What strengthens democracy is the daily practice of it. Respecting the rule of law, even when it restrains those in power. Allowing parliament to function independently. Protecting minority voices, dissent and opposition. Following due process, not shortcuts. Accepting accountability and scrutiny. Obeying and adhering to constitutional limits. Ghana stands today at a critical democratic moment, not because our democracy has failed us, but because its spirit is being tested. The question before us is not whether democracy is still suitable for us, but whether those entrusted with power are willing to submit themselves to its discipline. No authoritarian system ever admits that it is authoritarian. Tyranny often disguises itself as democracy until it's too late. This movement, therefore, calls not only on political actors, but on all pillars of our democracy. We are all involved in building our motherland and sustaining its democracy. We need a media that is courageous, free and fair. We need faith institutions that model integrity and elevate national unity. We need civil society to remain a sanctuary of truth, free inquiry, and intellectual honesty. We need citizens who are active participants in our democracy, not passive spectators to its erosion. The cause of freedom and justice is defining responsibility of our cause. And though defending it is demanding, we the caucus shall not relent. We the minority will not sit by and fold our arm until it's too late. The spirit of the mighty minority caucus does not say we will manage democratic decline under this government. It does not say we would adapt to injustice. It says we will resist oppression and we will overcome. And overcome we shall through courage, through principle, through unity, and through unwavering commitment to the democratic values that bind us as one people. Mr. Speaker, in 1963, Martin Luther King stood before thousands and said, "We cannot walk alone, and as we walk, we must make the pledge that we shall always march ahead. We cannot turn back," unquote. By this, we, the mighty minority, say to the majority that we will march with the people. We march with the Constitution. We march with those whose voices have been silenced. We march with the 1.3 million young people who deserve better than this government has given them. And we will not turn back. As we close this meeting, let us close with resolve. And a warning to those who test the people's patience. The people are watching. The Constitution is waiting. And the youth are restless. And for all who believe that in Ghana it is the Constitution, not the whims of those in power, that shall have that last word. Mr. Speaker, as we bring this meeting and session to a close, let me express gratitude to colleagues in leadership on both sides of the House, especially our whips. They work tirelessly to get members into the chamber. What will I be without our whips? And to our backbenchers, the new ones who are learning the rules, we have seen promise in you. We have seen your talent at display. Keep to it. Don't give up. And I say to those of you who have already warmed up, and for those of you who are warming up, please, your days are ahead. Don't give up. Whether we have agreed or disagreed, debated or collaborated, I say to you, thank you for your service to the people of Ghana. This chamber works because we show up, we speak up, and we hold each other accountable. Mr. Speaker, to the staff of Parliament, the clerks, the security personnel, the administrators, the support staff who work behind the scenes, we say thank you. Your professionalism keeps this house functioning. Your dedication often goes unnoticed, but it does not go unappreciated. To the clerk himself, Mr. Ebenezer Ahuma Jetro, you've taken all the bullets from our side and from this side.
God have mercy upon us.
It is okay to say you have held this chamber together. God bless you and your team for your effort. To the members of the press, the reporters, the cameramen, the editors, thank you for keeping the public informed. A free press is the lifeblood of democracy. Your work ensures that what happens in this chamber reaches every corner of Ghana and beyond. Not the least to our Speaker and his two deputies. Mr. Speaker, from our hearts, we say thank you. We have seen the transformation in Parliament. We may disagree on many issues, but what we know is that you are providing leadership for this House. We will continue to use every legitimate means to challenge your ruling, and in doing so, we mean no disrespect. It is democracy in action. Mr. Speaker, to the two deputies, particularly the first Deputy Speaker. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, we know this is your first time of being a First Deputy Speaker. We have often given you hard times, but bear with us. This is democracy in action. Be patient, be tolerant, accommodate us, have a big belly to contain us. We know sometimes we test your patience, but again I say to you, democracy in action. To the second deputy speaker, there are times that though we are of the same stock, we have disagreed, but again I say to you, we have tested your patience, we've tested your tenacity, we've tested your resilience, but again we are your own. Don't give up on us. Democracy in action. Mr. Speaker,
I'm telling you for a fact.
to the good people of Ghana, we the minority say to you, thank you for your patience, your vigilance, and your faith in this democratic experiment we call the 4th Republic. Mr. Speaker, as we prepare to adjourn, the season of Christmas is upon us. To all honorable members, please spend time with the family. We've worked hard enough. Let's use the period to check our health. When we leave this ordinary abode, the constitution requires that there must be a replacement. Life will go on without you. Please spend time to check on your health. Don't be so scared to know your medical condition. It is better to know to treat it than to live in that fear of not knowing, then it will get worse. Please check on your health. Mr. Speaker, whilst I wish my colleagues a Merry Christmas, let me say that let the season bring you peace in your very homes, joy to your hearts, and hope for the year ahead. May we return in the new year with a renewed energy, clearer purpose, and deeper commitment to serving the people who sent us here, and hoping that the Honorable First Deputy Speaker will resist the temptation of hauling the minority leader before a so-called privileges committee. The minority leader will insist on his rights on serving his full term as a 3rd Deputy Speaker at the ECOWAS Parliament. Therefore, it is our prayer that the First Deputy Speaker and his committee will resist all temptations and being pushed to do that which is never done in any democracy. The minority leader has not disrespected any order of this House. Indeed, the ECOWAS Parliament rejected outrightly the resolution that sought to remove the minority leader from his seat as an ECOWAS MP. The minority's leader's seat at ECOWAS Parliament is not one of those that can be removed. You can remove the Chief Justice. You can remove others who are political appointees, but not his bona fide right as a member of ECOWAS Parliament and a 3rd Deputy Speaker. He shall remain until April 2028, when his tenure shall have come to an end. Mr. Speaker, thank you so much indeed.
If you also want to tell he or her, say he can go to hell. What must I say?
Honourable members, it's now the turn of the majority leader to give his closing remark.
Mr. Speaker, I am most grateful for the opportunity to deliver my closing remarks as the House adjourns sine die for the Christmas holidays and its associated festivities. Mr. Speaker, as representatives of the people, it is time for us to return to our constituents and the good people of this country as the Christmas approaches, as the New Year festivities begin, and as the year ends. Mr. Speaker, First and foremost, I would like to commend all of us, and let me join the minority leader to commend all those who have helped us to have a successful meeting of the House. Mr. Speaker, before I delve into the details of my closing remarks, let me just briefly address some issues that the minority leader has raised. Mr. Speaker, our standing orders have made provision, and our Constitution has made provision for this House to be able to act expeditiously when it so desires. And that is why we have provisions that allow us to bring business under a certificate of urgency. I believe that the certificate of urgency is an instrument that is available to us. It enables us to act with dispatch as a House. I don't believe that the tool of certificate of urgency has been abused by anybody in this House. And this is not the first time that we are utilizing the tool of certificate of urgency to pass legislation. And the use of a certificate of urgency is not meant to gag or prevent the minority from participating in criticizing or critiquing and pointing out difficulties or problems with any policy proposal. Even when we bring anything under a certificate of urgency, we still create room for people who have, issues to raise those issues. And so sometimes when it is presented to the public as if any time that we are passing anything through a certificate of urgency, then there's something that is being hidden, that's not really fair and also misrepresents how this House functions. Mr. Speaker, I'm not aware that there's any attempt to gag the minority by use of investigative agencies. Mr. Speaker, I've been in this House for close to 2 decades. I've been in this House as an opposition member. I've been in this House as a minister. I've been in this House back again as an opposition member, and I've been in this House now, and I'm serving as the majority leader, in and out of power and in and out of the chamber. Mr. Speaker, I can assure you that those of us who are in this House, who get to serve as ministers, who get to serve on boards, as board chairpersons, as board members, which is an executive department, we should watch our activities carefully as ministers and as board members, because there's always a day when we will be called upon to come and answer for our conduct, either as ministers, as board members, or as board chairpersons. Mr. Speaker, when we leave office in the executive capacity and we still remain in this House, and the law enforcement agencies are calling upon us to come and account, we should not treat that as an attempt to gag anybody. Because when we're accepting those appointments, nobody forced us to accept those appointments. It is only fair that when you accept to serve in an executive position, when the day of reckoning arrives, you should be ready to go and answer for your deeds or misdeeds. If they are misdeeds, you'll be held accountable. If they are good deeds, you will be able to exonerate yourself in court. Mr. Speaker, not too long ago, the minority leader on this House, when we were in opposition, and that is Honorable KCL Atuforsen, who is now the Minister for Finance. Mr. Speaker, and acting as Minister for Defense, I was in this chamber when every morning he had to go to court, answer in court, and then come here and lead the minority. He never complained one single day. He answered, defended himself, and finally got exonerated, and the matter was disposed of. So no one is above the law. Everybody will be held accountable, and when it is your turn to be held accountable, do not misrepresent to the public that there is any orchestration to oppress the minority, to gag the minority, to intimidate the minority, and to prevent the minority from doing their work. Mr. Speaker, on the issue of anti-corruption agencies, indeed, the issue is not that we want to gag anti-corruption agencies. It is because we are frustrated by the failure of anti-corruption agencies to hold public officers accountable for their deeds. That was what activated us to call for the scrapping of some anti-corruption agency, because we felt they had failed woefully in terms of the expectations of Ghanaians. Mr. Speaker, a few weeks ago, I went to play tennis, and just by the tennis court, a young man was weeding the lawn. And when the ball fell outside the court and I went to pick it, he greeted me and said, "Leader, why are all those thieves that stole this country's money still walking around in our streets? Why are all those thieves who stole this country's money, and you saw it, still walking in the streets and having the effrontery to be saying the things that they are saying?" And I was stunned that, a cleaner in a hotel will confront me so frontally. And he looked me in the face and told me that, "Leader, we voted you people so that you will fight corruption. We want you to fight corruption." Mr. Speaker, if we don't hold each other accountable and fight corruption, there is no greater threat to democracy than failing to fight corruption. Those of you who know the history of this country, go and check the records. Anytime that a democracy has been overthrown, the first reason that the military dictatorship gives is that there was massive corruption and they were not fighting corruption. So fighting corruption is the surest way to sustain and preserve our democracy, in addition to delivering on social and economic goods. So we will continue to fight corruption. And if fighting corruption is what you misinterpret as attempting to intimidate the minority, so be it. Mr. Speaker, as for the issue about the Israeli retaliatory measures, I can assure you that this country will stand by its citizens. If a citizen gets mistreated by a foreign country, we will retaliate. We will retaliate. And so if Israel has mistreated a Ghanaian, Ghana will retaliate. And that is what has happened. And I can assure you that following our retaliatory measure, the situation has changed, and Israel is now treating our citizens with the kind of respect that they deserve when we get to their airports. Mr. Speaker, I have tried very hard to stay away from the discussions about the question of whether or not President John Dramani Mahama will be seeking a third-term mandate. Mr. Speaker, President John Dramani Mahama indicated in Singapore his view on the matter. President John Dramani Mahama indicated in Singapore his view on the matter. Why the opposition every single day will be discussing the issue of a third term in Ghana, I don't understand. Mr. Speaker, I know that due to the very, very excellent performance so far of John Dramani Mahama, Ghanaians are asking him to seek a third term. I know that because I read on social media, I listen to conversations, and Ghanaians believe that as a result of the good deeds of His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, they don't want him to leave the presidency.
They believe a third term is possible.
And they believe that a third term is possible. And they are demanding for a third term. But John Dramani Mahama has not given any indication that he wants to go for a third term. But I have always said that Ghanaians will be the ultimate deciders of the future of this country. Mr. Speaker, why do I say that? Please pay attention. Why do I say that? Next doors in the Côte d'Ivoire, the opposition leaders came to me when I was in the ECOWAS Parliament and complained that the president there wanted to go for a third term. And they were calling on us in West Africa to support them, to oppose and prevent the president from going for a third term. So I asked them, the president who is seeking for a third term, is he going to put a ballot box in front of the citizens and ask them to vote for him to go for the third term, or is going to wake up early morning and announce that he is continuing for a third term? And they said there will be an election to determine whether or not he should go for the third term. And I said, go and fight him at that election.
Hey,
go and fight him at that election.
Are you seriously?
Go and fight him at that election. Mr. Speaker, that is why I say that ultimately it will be the Constitution, the institutions, and the citizens of Ghana who will determine the future of our country. Mr. Speaker, your guidance and leadership have ensured that our legislative process, though often cumbersome, were conducted within the bounds of parliamentary decorum and democratic responsibility. Why are you afraid of a third term? Why are you afraid? Why are you afraid? Mr. Speaker, even without a third term, look at how we have reduced your numbers. Mr. Speaker, your guidance and leadership have ensured that our legislative process, though often cumbersome, were conducted within the bounds of parliamentary decorum and democratic responsibility. Although the House encountered a low momentum during the debate on the budget statement for 2026, following the ruling of the Tamale High Court that called for the rerun of the Pandai parliamentary election, the House was able to restore order through your seamless leadership. The subsequent decision of the Supreme Court to halt the rerun, which was ordered by the Tamale High Court, reaffirms the strength of our constitutional order, the independence of the judiciary, and the rule of law. As legislators, we must continue to support reforms that strengthen electoral integrity and deepen public confidence in our democracy. I will also take the opportunity to commend the Honorable Minority Leader and colleagues in leadership for their cooperation and collaboration in ensuring that government business was conducted diligently. To the Clerk to Parliament and the staff of the Parliamentary Service, I say thank you for always being there to provide the needed technical support and assistance in the discharge of our mandate. Mr. Speaker, this third meeting, which commenced on the 21st of October 2025, comes to close today, 19th December 2025. The House had 35 sittings within a 9-week period. During this meeting, the House considered the 2026 budget statement and financial policy of government, which is one of the most important businesses that we conducted during this meeting. In pursuance of our financial oversight mandate, the House took the budget statement through rigorous debates and scrutiny, leading to the adoption of the estimates for the various ministries in record time. The timely adoption of the estimates from the various ministries saw the appropriation bill passed. The successful passage of the 2026 budget statement and financial policy of government stands as a testament to Parliament's constitutional duty to scrutinize, debate, and approve policies aimed at stabilizing the economy, promoting growth, and safeguarding the welfare of the Ghanaian people. The budget reflects difficult but necessary choices shaped by prevailing domestic and global economic realities and guided by our collective resolve to place Ghana on a sustainable path of recovery and development. Mr. Speaker, aside the 2026 budget statement and financial policy of government, the House passed a number of legislations and undertook various businesses during this meeting. One remarkable legislation that was passed by this House in fulfillment of the campaign promises of the great National Democratic Congress Party was the COVID Health Recovery Levy Repeal Act 2025, which was subsequently assented to by His Excellency the President on 10th December 2025. This is a testament to the responsible and prudent governance that we promise the good people of this noble country. These actions underscored Parliament's responsiveness to public concerns, economic pressures on households and businesses, and the need to recalibrate our fiscal framework in line with current socio-economic conditions. While revenue mobilization remains critical, this House has demonstrated that taxation must always be balanced with equity, fairness, and the capacity of citizens to endure. Our other legislations include Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology Bill, which we considered and passed, the COVID-19 Health Recovery Levy Bill, which we passed, the Value Added Tax Bill, which we passed, Virtual Asset Service Providers Bill, which we passed, the Ghana Education Trust Fund Amendment Bill, which we passed, the 24-Hour Economy Authority Bill, which came and is at consideration at committee, Governance Advisory Council Bill, which came but is at committee stage, Instances Succession Bill, which is also at committee stage, Legal Education Reform Bill, which is at committee stage, Petroleum Revenue Management Amendment, which we passed, Bank of Ghana Amendment Bill, which I believe we passed, Road Traffic Amendment Bill, which we passed, Ghana Sports Fund Bill, which we have passed. Mr. Speaker, we have passed so many pieces of legislation. Now, we know that our promise to the Okada riders that we will legalize Okada riding has been approved by this House, and it has been passed and is now law. And if the necessary administrative mechanisms are put in place, Okada is now legalized. The Sports Fund Bill has also been passed, and when put in place, we have put a mechanism that will enable the raising and mobilization of resources and funds for the development of sports across all sectors. Mr. Speaker, the debates and discussions during this meeting have been without contention. However, disagreement is not a weakness of Parliament, rather it is the lifeblood of representative democracy. I commend members on both sides of the House for their commitment, resilience, and willingness to engage constructively in the national interest, even where we disagree. Mr. Speaker, let me repeat that this country is on the right path. The economy is doing well. Our finances are doing well. Our finance minister is doing well. Our president is doing well. We have suddenly become the envy of all nations around here. Ghanaians are now very proud of their country and very proud of their government. And wherever a Ghanaian is, every other person that I have met have said, we are following the developments in your country and your country is doing well. This is neither a moment for complacency nor for self-congratulation alone. Rather, it is a moment for sober reflection, acknowledgement of collective effort, and renewed commitment to our national development agenda. We inherited an economy burdened by deep-rooted structural weaknesses, reckless fiscal management, corruption, and a severe erosion of both public and investor confidence. Through decisive leadership, prudent governance, and partnership with Parliament and stakeholders, this administration has reversed the decline, stabilized the economy, restored credibility at home and abroad, and firmly placed Ghana on the path of recovery and sustainable growth. Right Honourable Speaker, the turnaround of our economy has been confirmed by Ghana's sovereign credit rating upgrade from CCC Plus to B- by Standards & Poor's, and affirmed by the International Monetary Fund in its fifth review of Ghana's 39 months extended credit facility agreement concluded in December 2025. I quote, Mr. Speaker, the IMF said, "Microeconomic stabilization is gaining momentum with strong growth and single-digit inflation for the first time since 2021. The fiscal and external positions have improved and good progress has been made on debt restructuring. These gains reflect the authority's strong program ownership, favorable external development, and improved investor confidence," unquote. This is what the World Bank, the IMF, is saying about Ghana. The successes we celebrate today are also a testament to the unwavering commitment of Parliament. Through your resilience, diligence, and constructive engagement, we have transformed policies into tangible progress, ensure that every initiative contributes meaningfully to national development, and strengthen the foundation of our democracy. Mr. Speaker, the key achievements of this House has been to support the government to ensure macroeconomic stability. Inflation, which was as high as 54%, is now at 6.3%. There is improved national currency performance. The Ghana cedi is stronger against the US dollar now than it has been for many years. We have improved public debt management. Mr. Speaker, the debt, which was 722 billion Ghana cedis, has been reduced to 685 billion Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, we have improved lending environment. As we speak, banks are lending at far lower lending rates than they were lending. Mr. Speaker, we have improved and strengthened the economic indicators, GDP growth, international reserves, import cover, sectoral performance have all shown significant improvement, demonstrating the resilience and effectiveness of our economic strategy. These achievements reflect a clear trajectory towards sustainable growth, macroeconomic stability, and financial resilience. Right Honourable Speaker, I now wish to highlight some of the key promises made by President John Dramani Mahama to Ghanaians upon assuming office and the progress achieved in fulfilling them. Scrapping COVID e-levy, we scrapped e-levy. COVID levy, we scrapped it. 10% levy on winnings, scrapped. Emissions levy, scrapped. Import duty on vehicles and equipment for industrial agricultural purposes, scrapped. Big push policy for strategic infrastructure development launched. So much money, billions of cedis given. Social interventions, no academic fees, policy for first years tertiary institutions, no fee stress implemented, free tertiary education for persons with disability implemented, Mahama Ghana Medical Cares Trust, Mahama Cares, free sanitary pads, all implemented, 24-hour economy working, Women's Development Bank allocations made for this establishment, National Apprenticeship Program, all happening, digital initiatives, 1 million coders program ongoing, Agriculture Economic Transformation Agenda, Feed Ghana program, all of it ongoing, establishment of Gold Board, very successful. It has helped to stabilize the city, strengthen the city against the dollar. In conclusion, Right Honorable Speaker, as we approach the Christmas break, let us take pride in these collective achievements led by President John Dramani Mahama and celebrate the resilience and unity of Ghanaians. These milestones are not mere statistics. They are the product of dedication, shared responsibility, and collective action. The future is bright, the path is clear, and together we will continue to build a Ghana of sustainable growth, prosperity, and dignity for all. Mr. Speaker, at this very important juncture, in this chamber, Boku Central and the issues in Boku were mentioned. I have kept quiet and I did not say anything, and I said that, and I acted that way for very good reason. The conflict in Boku, which is about chieftaincy and who is the rightful chief of the place, was a matter that came up as far back as 2021. It resulted in a lot of violence. Many people died, and President Akufo-Addo referred the matter to His Royal Majesty, the Otumfuo, to deal with. Because the Otumfuo was dealing with the matter, I decided never to comment on that matter, because commenting on it would have undermined the authority, the dignity, and the majesty of the Otumfuo. So in spite of all the provocation and the things that were said in this chamber, I kept quiet and said nothing about it. I now want to report to you that His Royal Majesty, the Otumfuo, presented his report to His Excellency, the President. He concluded that the rightful chief of Boku and the Kusasi traditional area is the Zuguran Asigri Abogrago Azoka II. And he made further recommendations that we hope, if implemented, will bring peace, will bring law and order, and will ensure security of lives and property in the Boku area. Mr. Speaker, I stayed away from the constituency for very good reasons. I stayed away for very good reasons. And I can assure you that we are all trying very hard to deal with a very, very delicate matter. Many of you in this chamber, you don't understand. But I have tried very hard to maintain my calm, my cool, in the face of extreme provocation. But I want to assure you that no matter what you say, and no matter what you do, I, Mahama Erga, will never be provoked. I thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Members, can we listen to the concluding remark of the Speaker in silence? Honorable members, this is the remark of Right Honorable Aban Sumana, Kingsford. Bagbin, Speaker of the Parliament of the Republic of Ghana, at the end of the 3rd meeting of the 1st session of the 9th Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. I will therefore present same in a representative capacity. Honourable members, as the book of Ecclesiastes reminds us, there is a time for everything. A time to commence and a time to close. A time for sitting and a time to rise. A time for debates and a time for recess. Today, the time has come for us to bring sitting of the 3rd meeting of the 1st session of the 9th Parliament to an end, and to rise to adjourn sine die to a recess. A recess to focus on other responsibilities and duties of MPs as we reflect on our deliberations and accomplishments over the past weeks. We once again express our collective gratitude to the Almighty God for bestowing on us the wisdom, strength, tolerance, and spirit of cooperation that guided our deliberations. Honourable members, despite a few challenges, this House successfully transacted significant legislative, oversight, and representational business during the meeting, reflecting our shared commitment to democratic governance, good order, and national development. Over the 35 years, over 35 sitting of the meeting, the House recomposed its standing and select committees, approved the President's nomination of Chief Justice Paul Bafo-Boni as Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana, considered 14 bills and passed 7, examined and brought into force several legislative instruments, received and debated ministerial and members' statements, answered over 100 questions, approved petroleum and contract agreement, tax and visa waivers, headquarters agreement, and international conventions, approved the 2026 disbursement formula for key statutory funds, and referred several reports and policy papers to appropriate committees. Honourable members, one of the key highlights of the meeting was the presentation of the budget statement and economic policy of the government for the 2026 financial year to Parliament on Thursday, 13th November 2025 by the Honourable Minister responsible for Finance. Subsequently, I led the leadership of the House in collaboration with the Parliamentary Training Institute to organize a post-budget workshop for honorable members and selected staff of parliamentary service to deepen understanding of the policies, assumptions, and rationale underpinning of the budget. I commend leadership, honorable members, the Clerk to Parliament, and Parliamentary Training Institute for their respective roles in ensuring the success of the workshop. Honorable members, beyond the core business of the House, Parliament continued to engage actively in the international parliamentary fora to strengthen parliamentary diplomacy. During the meeting, Parliament successfully hosted the 9th Biennial General Meeting of the African Parliamentary Network Against Corruption, APNAC, during which I had the honor to be elected President of APNAC. I was further elected President of African Geopolitical Group of the Interparliamentary Union, IPU, as well as appointed a member of the IPU task force to mediate the Russia-Ukraine war. These recognitions affirm the confidence and trust reposed in Ghana's parliamentary democracy by the international community, a reputation we must continue to uphold and protect seriously. Honourable members, capacity building and mentorship initiatives featured prominently during the meeting. The legislative management service area of the parliamentary service organized the maiden practice and procedure week aimed at highlighting parliamentary practice and procedure as the driving force of parliamentary business and deepening the understanding of members and staff. In addition, I initiated the Maiden Time with the Speaker series to engage first-time members of Parliament in a less formal setting to promote mentorship, dialogue, and shared understanding outside the rigid procedural environment of the chamber. Feedback from this engagement was very positive, and it is my hope that similar engagements will in due course be extended to other members. Honorable members, whilst we rightly celebrate the many successes achieved during this meeting, we must also reflect soberly on the unfortunate and chaotic scene witnessed during the debate on issues relating to the Pandai parliamentary seat. Although protests, walkouts, and uproars have become permissible features of parliamentary practice, they nevertheless need not threaten the orderly and dignified conduct of parliamentary business. This is why I roundly condemn the chaotic conduct of some honorable members that day. Parliament draws part of its legitimacy and relevance from polarity and divergence of views. Therefore, we must all endeavor to engage in decorous debate in a dispassionate manner,
My Lord,
devoid of conduct that has the potential to undermine the image and dignity of the House. Let me assure you, the people of Ghana, that Parliament will continue to discharge its mandate with patriotic fervor and unwavering commitment to the national interest and the welfare of the citizenry. Before I conclude, I wish to place on record my profound appreciation to Honorable First and Second Deputy Speakers for their steadfast support and dedication to the work of the House. Honorable members will agree with me that my two deputies have both acquitted themselves rightly and honorably, deserving of the high respect and adoration accorded them by the Ghanaian people. I am equally grateful to leadership of the House, particularly the honorable majority and minority leaders, for their cooperation, maturity, and commitment to parliamentary business. I further commend the Clerk to Parliament, management, and all officers of parliamentary service for their continued professionalism, diligence, and unwavering dedication to the work of the House, which has been instrumental to the effective functioning of Parliament. I also recognize and appreciate the Parliamentary Press Corps and our media partners for their significant roles in promoting the work of Parliament, enhancing transparency, and keeping the Ghanaian public informed of the proceedings and decisions of the August House. Finally, as we rise for Christmas recess, I extend my warmest wishes to honorable members, management and staff of parliamentary service, and all Ghanaians. Here is my humble prayer for honorable members. May we, as representative of the people, be awakened to our God-given duty to exert justice, defend the rights of the poor and the needy, and give Ghana the progress that it desperately needs. May Christ strengthen honorable members with integrity and character to act righteously, and not out of selfish ambition. May He protect honorable members and Ghanaians from all evils, all evil powers that prowl around the world seeking to destroy mankind during this festive season. May the good Lord grant honorable members abundant wisdom to know His directives for leaders, namely to labor for the good of creation and the welfare of those Ghanaians whose daily prayer is to get bread, even if without butter. During this hallowed season, may God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong. I wish all honorable members and staff a Merry Christmas and a prosperous and happy New Year. Honorable members, it is now my pleasure and privilege to adjourn the House sine die. Accordingly, the House is adjourned sine die. I thank you for your attention.